concerned that he wasn't feeling very good, so got him out of there.
A flu type thing, you mean, or something worse than, like, health-wise? Like arm,
Just more arm, not arm, just health-wise. Just we decided we wanted to be careful. So.
Was he okay before the game?
Yeah, I think he was fine, and he threw the ball good. I think he would have done fine. I talked to my pitching coach, and we talked to the kids, and let's just back off a little bit. So we backed off a lot. That's the way it goes. So, and then things got ugly after that, didn't they?
Yeah.
that's a little cryptic.
It's a little cryptic. Yeah. I tell you guys all sorts of stuff when I talk to the player, and when I need to talk to him because he made the move, and then I got rejected, and so I didn't come in here and say, hey, by the way, let's sit down and have a talk. So, in fact, I was waiting on him to talk to him now. But he's fine. Cryptic is a good word. I like that word.
I know.
And,
I mean, would he miss his next start?
No. He's fine as far as, well, he gets meningitis or something.
With whatever it was tonight.
God forbid.
With whatever it was tonight with this sports
God
team
forbid. And but no, he's fine. He's fine.
So are you a hockey fan after tonight?
I've always been a hockey fan. That was the fun part for me tonight. And unlike a lot of my guys, I was able to talk to them. And I think I'm a patriot. I think I'm all that stuff. But a lot of people, you guys are old enough to know that the Russian-U.S. thing was huge, and I don't even know if I did it justice explaining to the guys just how I mean, an upset and this and that. But you had professionals going against kids. And all of that. You guys, I mean, I don't know anybody that didn't see that. And, to listen to it called live and how, I mean, it was just, it was really something. And God bless her, Brooks. You guys tell me, you guys have been doing sports for a long time. Bigger upset?
No.
Okay. No. And that's not just hockey.
Yeah, there hasn't been one.
No.
I mean, yeah.
Well, and I know people would take you on, and I'm not. I want to think, because I don't say absolutely, but Northwestern beating somebody in the Rose Bowl, I mean, there's a lot of.
But it didn't have any implications beyond the field.
No.
This did. I mean, our front page that we had the copy of.
Right.
There's a story about Brezhnev on right below the hockey story. How is the U.S. going to react to his speech? So, for the latest thing he had said. So it was all, the political aspects too.
But the amazing thing was they pulled Tretiak after the first period, and years later the Russian coach said that was a big mistake. He regretted doing it.
And for a Russian coach to say anything like that and still...
Well, it was years later he said
He'll
it.
be in the country.
It was probably after the fall of the Soviet Union they said it.
But again, people don't...
Yeah.
I mean, people have a general idea of, kind of a different Soviet Union. I mean, it's a weird... But it was back, you guys know, back in the Cold War, the whole 9 yards, man. I mean, it was something. And so, because personally, I don't know if I watched the game more with love of country or it was somewhere in the middle between love of country and I didn't like the Russians, And, the Olympics are always somewhat emotional from that standpoint. But that was just, I remember where I was when I'm in a neighborhood watching a guy walk on the moon. I remember where I was watching that game. I remember where I was when Kennedy was shot. I got 5 things in 60 years that I really can, so that's how big that was. And sometimes that gets lost. Well, time goes on, and that's the way it goes. But that was some kind of a special deal.
and then John Harrington assisting on Mike Ruth, the only game-winning goal, and then coming to play for the Rochester
See, the
Americans.
details of it, that's why I leave it to historians and people, because I'm way beyond remembering all of that. I mean, just the euphoria of watching that and not believing. Didn't they get blasted like
10-3.
10-1?
10-3.
10-3?
in Madison
10-3.
Square
Yeah.
Garden.
And, you know, I mean, just, you talk about it. Yeah, that was something. But the landscape, I mean, it's one thing to have an upset, but the landscape between the two countries and everything else, politically and so on, was maybe more so. So that was a nice night, as far as that goes. Unfortunately,
The landscape between you and Vern, how's that?
me and who? You have disagreements on things, and one thing I will do is protect my player.
Just didn't like the way he was.
Whether I was right or wrong. Well, I can't stand on the mound waiting to make a pitching change and see an exchange like that going on and not do something about it. I mean, I'm the manager. I mean, maybe I can. Maybe I can go, you guys go ahead and have at it. But, anyway, those things happen.
Is there a worry though that Alex seemed to lose focus after not getting the?
Well, he was first of all he was well into a 50 pitch evening, or his pitch count was up. He was rested. He had 2 days off. I think he pitched the last day, I believe. And I'm looking at my charts here, but I mean, but that there's no question that frustrated him, and you'll have to ask Alex that question's appropriate how much, but you kind of get a sense, and it's not just with Alex, you get a sense when there's a pitch is missed like that, and you're watching, and I looked at Timmy and I said, I looked at Marty and says, call ready, because you had a sense that relationship between umpire and pitcher wasn't really, and that might affect your pitcher. You're walking around kind of 4 pitches, and that's not good. And look, umpires have a tough job. We disagree with them, and players have to handle it as well. Players, managers, all I mean, calls are going to be missed, and maybe they didn't, maybe they weren't missed. But you got it. You can't let that affect. You watch major league players, for the most part. There's blow-ups every year, but for the most part, there's borderline, with the pitch tracks and all the rest of it. And guys handle that very, very well in general up there. And that's, again, these kids, you got it's just one pitch. Now that happened to be strike 3, potentially, and that makes it that much tougher. So anyway, but the night was an ugly night. It was a beautiful memory for me and a great theme for the night. It just didn't end well. And fortunately, in 1980, right, it ended very well.
They went on to beat Finland for the gold.
Yep.
Okay.